So, Thomas, yesterday we have gone through Excel part. That means how to read the data, write the data, and append the data to it. That means without deleting the previous records, adding up the records to the existing Excel file. So, as well as cell values, because Excel and CSV is completely different. So, it was a straightforward when we work with CSV. In
Yeah.
here, Excel, it is we have multiple sheets, and each value also depend on the cell values. So it's quietly different from the CSV files. Okay.
Okay.
Um, so we've seen read, write, append, and write cell, and read cell formula. Am I correct, Vijay? Can you scroll
Uh,
down a little bit?
yes.
So we have to use Excel application scope, and all the activities that we see under Excel, everything has to be placed inside the do activity of Excel application scope. Any activity that placed outside the box, that means outside the Excel application scope, it doesn't work. And other thing is, for to work with Excel application, the Excel application has to be physically installed in your machine. Then only it will work. Otherwise, if the Excel application is not installed, then it will throw an error. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, Scroll down, Vijay, to the end. So we've seen read cell, write cell. Okay. There is one more activity. Can you go to the activities, which is read cell formula? No, scroll down under app integration, expand Excel. So there is a activity named as read cell formula. So how we are reading a read cell, whatever the display value it's reading, if a cell value contains a formula, suppose A2 minus A1. So usually when in the cell, how it will be denoted as equal to A2 minus A1. If you are finding a difference. So when we are using the read cell formula, the output will be A2 minus A1, so that we can recheck whether the formula is correct or not, to or uh, to verify whether the formula function has any errors or something, to re-verify or regenerate for the other cells. You can use this read cell formula. So you can write down a formula in a cell and use this activity. It'll be able to read. Okay. The read cell will read the display value, read cell formula. If there is any formula present in the cell, that formula will be read using read cell formula. Okay. So there is another one called as set range color. Suppose I have the cell values, I have to change the color of the cell. Then I use set range color, which helps me to set a color to the cell. Can you drag and drop it? Okay. So we have to give the color. So can you type, click on there, type color, COLOR dot. You'll get all the list of colors present in that. You can choose the color. So once when you run this activity, when it is crossing over the range what you have provided and which sheet you have mentioned, the color which you have provided, the cell will be updated with that color. You can choose any color from the drop down. Okay. And one more thing, there is another activity. Okay, finish up this. Set a color. So when your program runs in sheet one, A1 to A2, color will be set with blue color. Okay. There is another color called get cell color in the left side. Can you see get cell color below the Excel application scope? The top second. This will help you to read the cell color value. Okay. Suppose same one you can give A1, we have given color, right? So on the right side, you have to create a variable. Can you create a variable?
Color, right?
Yes. Control K, cell color, you can name it as cell color. Drag and drop a right line below, get cell color. So with this, I'm showing you how to check the name of the cell color, whether it is that color or a different one. So cell color dot name dot toString. This will give you the color value. And when you have a custom color, so when you choose apart from the ones which is displayed, we're choosing any other color format, it will generate 6-digit hash codes. I mean, there is two kind of color code base are there, right? It will be a combination of FFF00, HH00. So those combinations will be generated. And you can use this cell color format, read the cell, and the cell color value also, you can give it as an input to the set range color. The variable of get cell color, you can give it to set range color. Even that also works. Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. So next, what we're gonna do is, can you clear the search? Okay. Yeah, scroll down. Okay. So in order to, when we make some changes, right, write sheet or write cell, whatever it is, it's a change occurs. You can use save workbook. Can you drag and drop save workbook? Okay, it doesn't require any inputs to be given for it. And there is one more activity called close workbook. Scroll little up. Yes. So for this one, the variable which you're creating for Excel application scope has to be the input for this. You remember, Vijay, yesterday in the Excel application scope, in the right side, you have created a variable, right?
Yes.
Yes, that variable name you have to give here in order to close the instance of the Excel which has been opened. Okay. Suppose I want to know what are the sheet are present in the Excel file. For that, we can use get workbook sheets. Can you see get workbook sheets? So this will, you have to provide an index number. For that, the sheet name will be given. There is another activity called as get workbook sheets. Can you see in the left side? Get workbook sheets. So the difference here is, if I contain 5 sheets, this will give you an array value, array or list value. So which you will be getting all the data of that. And get worksheet, that means you have to provide the index number. Suppose I'm giving 0. So index number starts from 0. I give a 0 at 0th position. So what is the first sheet name present in the Excel? So it goes in the index order. So you can find out that whether the sheet is available or not, or whether the first sheet is named properly or not. To verify that, you can use get workbook sheet. So you have to pass the index number 0, start with 0. You give the index number and returns you the sheet name, so that you can verify that whether it has holding the correct sheet name or not. Okay. So if you see, so you can give the sheet name here. You can create a variable, and below to it you can drag and drop a right line to print the sheet name that is present in the first position. So get workbook sheets is a list where you have to run through the for each loop. Okay, so the other one, can you see get workbook sheets? Click on that. No, which is already you have dragged and dropped it.
Sheets.
Above that.
Okay.
get workbook sheets. So the right side, can you see the variable to be created, which will result you, click on the three dot button. Yeah. So you can see that it's a list of string. So you'll get all the sheets and the sheet names present in the worksheet of that workbook. Okay. So create a variable worksheet list, and you can use the for each to print all the sheet present in the workbook. For each, no, the other one. Yes, drag and drop below get workbook sheets. So in the enter VB expression, give Excel sheet. Etc. You have to use the variable name that you have created. So argument is string, and then you can use a write line to print the item to get the list of sheets present in the work. There you have to give the name item there. Remove worksheet list. In the right line text, you have given worksheet list, right? It has to be replaced with item. And then keep that inside the do activity of for each. Drag and drop inside the body of for each. Yes, that's it. Now it will be printing the sheets present in that. Okay. So you can run and check. Now open the workbook and then go for the output. Can you see the colors being highlighted? A1 to A2. And now go to the output of UiPath Studio. Can you see the color name?
Blue.
Okay. And the sheet names. And as per the index number you have provided, the sheet would have been printed. Sheet name.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. Yeah. So now come back to the activities, Excel. Okay, so I think we covered at most everything. Scroll up in the left side in the activity. Okay, so we have two things left out. Copy a sheet, drag and drop copy sheet. Okay, so you have to give the sheet name, and the right side you have to give the file path to which workbook the particular sheet of this workbook you are copying it to. and what would be the destination name of that sheet you have to give. In the above, can you see destination file path? To which workbook you're gonna send this sheet? That file path location you have to give. Create a dummy Excel and take the path location of that and then provide it there. It says file path location, which you have to give the file path, not folder path. File path location of the file. Create a new Excel file and give that path location to that. See what is the sheet name? Sheet 1. Okay. Close this and take the path location of that and pass it as an input to the destination file path.
Can you guide me to take a sheet path?
You have to take the test XLSX, the one which you have created,
Okay.
that file path location you have to take and give it in the destination file path location. Go to UFS Studio. Yes, in the end, add a backward slash and give test.xlsx and add double quotes between the start and end. XLSX. Okay, click OK. And the below you have to give the sheet name, destination sheet name. So in between the double quotes, give a different name. Just give it as test only. In between the double quotes, give the name as test. And go to the previous one. See if there is some error. I think in the file path location which you mentioned, there is 2 double quotes in the end. Click OK. So now the copy of the sheet will be pasted in the destination. Okay. So next what we have is delete range. Drag and drop delete range. Okay. So here what you have to do is the range of data which should be deleted from the sheet, particular sheet. You have to give the range. Can you give the range like A1 to A2? Or let me explain you. You have to give a range in between the 2 double quotes there. It should be A1 colon A2, not hyphen, colon A2. So A1 and A2 still will be considered for deleting the data. So when you say delete range, that data will be cleared. That means there will be no other data will be present in that. Okay. Apart from that, we do have 4 options. Can you see in the right side? Shift cells under options.
Shift cells, yeah.
Yeah. So if you choose that option, it enables you to use 4 modes. Can you see shift cells up, down, entire row, entire column? Okay, so when I say shift cells up, that means whatever the cell values below the deleting range, that cells will come up, filling up the blank spaces. When I say shift the cells from left, so whatever the cells from the left side will be filling up the blanks in their left side. So cell values from the right will be moving to left when I say shift cells left. So entire column, entire row means if I say A1 and A2, if I say entire row, A1 and A2, both the rows will be deleted. When I say entire column, A column alone will be deleted. If I say A1 to B2, then A column and B column will be deleted. So if it is required, then you can choose this option. Otherwise, just clearing up the data, then you can use the previous method. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So that completes the part 1 of Excel application scope activities. So you can practice on through. And tomorrow we can see with processing and table in the left side below Excel. Can you see processing? No, under Excel, processing and table. So which includes macro execution, like kind of an level 2 of Excel activities. So whatever we've seen is part 1, level 1. So next what we're going to do is level 2, how to run macro, how to run, that means how to run the code files from Excel, copy the sheet from another sheet to another sheet, how we can do. So kind of an advanced level from the ones which we have seen. So which we'll be looking at tomorrow on that. Okay. Any doubts so far? Is it clear? Anyone?
No.
It sounds clear.
Okay. So, Vijay, do you have the permission to run the macro, right? In certain organizations, the IT people will be removing the macro settings. Okay. Can you go to the Excel? Let's do the initial settings. What you have to do when you're running the macro for the first time. Okay. Can you go to the Excel file, which is already open? Okay. So when you're doing for the first time, just remember this, when you're running a macro, so go to file, the left side, file, options. In the end, can you see options? Okay, go to Trust Center settings. This is only one time you have to do it, not all the time. Can you see macro settings? So enable all macros and trust access to the VBA. So this has to be enabled, then only. Otherwise, the code will be saved, but each time you open the Excel, you have to enable the Excel file and then enable permission for running the macro, then only you will be able to run it. So with doing this setting, you doesn't need to do again and again. Once the file contains macro, it'll directly by the activity or event that you defined, based on that, it can run it. Okay. Now click OK. Press Alt F11. So this is the VBA working area. So this is where we will be writing our VBA codes.
Sounds good.
Okay. So we will see this in detail tomorrow. So I'll take you through the simple examples, and then we can see how the macro files can be executed. That means function with arguments, function without arguments, same external macro file, how it can be affecting the file which is there in the Excel. So we're going to go through that. Okay. So let's meet up tomorrow. Okay.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you, guys.
Thanks, Logan.